Peace, everybody. It's your brother Usman back in the kitchen again to give you another dish. All right, this is called my avocado heater. All right, and what you'll be able to do is sneak in a therapeutic amount of black pepper, cayenne pepper, and onions into a dish or one meal. Okay, and you want to have this meal at least twice a week, unless you already use therapeutic amounts of said ingredients. If you don't, this is a good meal to sneak in those therapeutic foods, and we'll discuss them in a second. All right, but you'll be able to almost go overboard and still not be inundated or have too much of a taste, too much of a spice with this particular food, avocado, that you use. All right, so let's get to it. Okay, here. So we're going to get started with our black pepper. Okay. Again, our black pepper has the piperine in it, which regulates the heart rate and clears the blood of any excess sugar when you use the therapeutic amounts that we're going to use in this particular meal. All right. We have our red onion, which is far superior to the white onions. So these are the ones that I suggest you use. Again, if you like the taste of white onions, then you should mix them in with the red onions, okay? But this has one of the highest flavonoid contents, and the flavonoids in red onions are actually anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, antifungal, and antiviral. All right, so this is a much more therapeutic onion than the white onion. All right, of course we have our salmon. All right, our omega-3 oils, very healthy. We have our avocado. All right, and we have our cayenne pepper. Okay, I have a herbal supply here. This is not what you would find in the store. A little bit more potent, but the store-bought cayenne pepper is just as good. Now, cayenne pepper is a very, very good and very therapeutic food. It dilates blood vessels, which facilitates more oxygen flow to the cells, which is a major accelerator in metabolism. So this is why it boosts your metabolism. It's like just giving a car more gas and a higher octane gas, because your cells use oxygen in their cellular respiration, their cellular cycle. So the more oxygen, the more fuel, the faster the car. All right, and cayenne pepper also targets the reason it oxidates fat is because it takes electron. If you understand what oxidation is, and I don't really mean to get geeky, but oxidation is when you have a source that takes from the electrons of a particular atom. Just like the oxidation on a car. The sun heats up the car, and the oxygen from the air actually pulls atoms from it. So that's why when you get cars that sit out in the sun for a while, it's not the sun necessarily alone that causes the oxidation, but it does speed up the process. And you actually get the paint pulled off of the car. Where does it go? It goes in the atmosphere because the oxygen is actually pulling atoms from those paint molecules. Crazy, but that's just how it works. Cayenne pepper works the same way inside the body in regards to fat. So when you understand that, you understand just how incredible this particular spice or food is. All right. So let's get to it. We have our salmon, we have our avocado, our red onion, our black pepper, and our cayenne. All right. Let's rock it. Okay. So we're going to start with our avocado. Now, you know your avocados are one of the highest sources of potassium that you can have in terms of your nutrient intake. Very, very healthy meal. I'll show you just a little trick in how to make peeling the avocado a little easier. Right? Just cut it in 4 sectionals, and they peel off like so. And some of you may already know this. Right. And then we take our spoon and we'll just scoop it out like that. Of course, you can do this with just two halves. But it's a little easier, I find, in sections of 4. Of course, it's all in preference. All right. Don't want the seed to sneak away with any of our avocado. And we get our last section. Alright, okay, now what we're going to do, once we have our avocado sectioned off, okay, we're going to take our black pepper and grind it over. Now, the way you sneak the therapeutic amounts of spices, condiments into a meal like the avocado is that you can grind an almost excessive amount into the avocado, and the avocado will basically blunt the pungency of the pepper. Okay, you can then take your cayenne pepper. This is a herbal cayenne pepper. It's not something that you would find in the supermarket, but you can use that. All right, and as you can see, although it may seem like it's a lot, once you get the final mixture of what you're going to prepare this with, it won't make a difference at all. This avocado will serve as your seasoning. Okay, so it seems like a liberal amount, and it is, but once you get it all mixed in, it'll all work out. And again, these are therapeutic amounts of cayenne pepper. Now, cayenne pepper is one of the healthiest and most beneficial foods that you can have. Okay, it dilates the blood vessels and it facilitates more oxygen flow to the cells, which in turn accelerates your metabolism. And you'll find that when you taste this small amount, I find that even though I put a liberal amount of pepper in it, you can still use more. So you have your black pepper, which, as if you watched any of my previous videos, you know has the piperine in it, which is a very good blood regulator. It eliminates sugar from the circulatory system, facilitates the blood sugar, sweeping the blood sugar from your excess blood sugar from your circulatory systems and from within the cells as well. And cayenne pepper, as well as increasing the oxidation in the body, it also increases activities of any peripheral herb that you may take. And you can find the science for that on any study of cayenne pepper. Okay, and now we have our red onion. All right, now you want to use red onion instead of white onion because it's far superior to white onion. So this is the one I strongly suggest you use. All right, if you really like the taste of white onions, then you can mix them in with the red onions. All right, but red onions have one of the highest flavonoid contents, and this particular flavonoid in red onion is anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, antifungal, and antiviral. All right, so it's much more therapeutic than the white onion. And the red pigment has what's called an anthocyanin in it, which is another compound that, although it's going to require more study, it seems to suggest that it has an also protective quality to some of the cellular structures in the body. All right, and you want to cut your onions up as fine as you can. Or if you like onion, the taste of onion, you can cut them large. I don't find too many people who like large pieces of onion. Although I do tend to like them pretty large, so. All right. Then you bring in your avocado, and you mix in your onion. Now again, you can shred these to the more finer pieces. They're fine with me, kind of large. And again, you'll see that once you couple this with the food that you're going to couple it with, the fish or the portobello mushroom, this is going to be like your almost like what wasabi would be to the raw fish dish. I forgot, it skips my mind what it is, but the raw fish dishes that they eat wasabi with, or sometimes the raw shellfish, they eat wasabi with it. This is going to be like your wasabi. Alright, so now we have our avocado heater, right? And next we prepare the fish. Okay, as you see here, we have our salmon cooking. Now, again, if you're a vegan, you can do the same process with a portobello mushroom. The only difference is, with a portobello mushroom, you're going to actually season it a little bit, okay? With the salmon, you're not going to season it because, remember, our avocado heater is going to serve as the seasoning. That is what's going to season the meat. As I said again, like your wasabi serves, or like your wasabi complements your raw fish dishes. Now, if you notice, I have the skin down into the pan because you can't take the skin off of salmon, or you can, but it's very difficult taking the skin off of salmon when it's not cooked. So what I do is I cook the skin side down first, and when I flip this, you'll see why I do that, because it makes the skin removal process very easy. Again, salmon has one of the highest omega-3 fatty acid or omega-3 oil contents than any food, even among fish. The highest bioavailable omega-3 acids or omega-3 fatty oils. Okay, so our salmon is ready to flip. Okay. Now, for those of us who don't like the skin, so you take your spatula, and this is a plastic spatula, mind you. Skin slides right off. And for this dish, this is the optimal way to prepare the fish anyway, is to do a semi-brine. Okay, now the meat is cooked, and there are no dark red areas. So, again, to be sure, I'm going to cover it, turn the fire off, and just let it simmer a bit, okay? Okay, now, what we're going to do is we're going to take our salmon, okay? Now you can allow some of the juices to go on your plate. It's up to you, preference, or you can drain your salmon beforehand. I don't mind some of the juice on there. And you can also grind your salmon up a little more than what I have here, or you can choose to have it this way. Okay. Then we take our nice and spicy avocado heater. We add it on. Now again, this dish, your avocado being very hot and spicy, will serve as a seasoning for your salmon. It almost like a meal dip, if you will. This facilitates a therapeutic amount of pepper, cayenne, and black, and also onion, all which are therapeutic foods, all which are antiviral. Your onion and your cayenne, your black pepper, regulating the blood pressure, or the blood sugar, I should say, and heart rate to a degree. Of course, you have your fish with your omega-3 oils. And for our ketogenics out there, this is a perfect meal. Okay, this is about 5 carbs. Counting the onions, maybe about 7. All right, 30 grams of protein, and you have an array of vitamins and minerals, including potassium, which is a very important one in your avocado, sort of like your meat dip. All right, and you would simply take them like so. Also, you season your avocado with salt to your taste after everything's done. Which is something I forgot to do. But the reason you want to do that is because if you use salt prior to your onions or prior to your pepper, you can't really gauge the spiciness of your pepper, whether it's too much or too little. You need to have everything on it tasted plain to make sure it's spicy enough. And you may even prefer one pepper taste over the other. But like I said, you'll be able to put a liberal amount into your dish. Once you have the spiciness that you like, then you can season it to taste with the salt. All right? Right on the dish. And it's delicious. And there it is, family. You can go ham on the spices. And don't be afraid, as long as you get these core therapeutic amounts of cayenne and black pepper and onion, or you can just use the cayenne and black pepper. Don't be afraid to put any other spice that you are particular to inside your avocado. But you can go ham. You can get real liberal, because again, even if the avocado is a little too spicy, just center it with a little bit more meat. All right, or your portobello mushroom. Don't forget, for my vegans, you can use portobello mushroom and even season the portobello mushroom slightly, not a lot, just slightly. Okay, so until next meal, see you.